Good morning, students. In today's class of retail management, we'll start with a new topic, that is service-based and emerging retail formats. Service-based retail formats and emerging retail formats. In the previous classes, we have studied what are the various types of retail formats. Now, if we go through the diagram, so these are the various type of retail formats that we have studied. It is divided into three types: store-based, non-store based, and service based. And again, the store based is divided into ownership based and merchandise based. All the store based format, that is ownership based and merchandise based, has been covered. Similarly, the non-store based retail formats were covered in the previous classes, which includes direct sales, email order, postal orders, telemarketing, and automated vending. Apart from that, we will study the service-based retail formats. These are the various retail formats, and also will focus on what are the various emerging retail formats that are present in India that are emerging. We'll also focus on that. So first we'll start with the service-based retail formats. As we see from the diagram, service-based retail formats consist of various service providers, banks, retail banking, car rentals, and service contracts. Now, if you look, this is the classification of service-based retailing in India. Now, when we say service-based retail formats, what does we mean? It means these retailers provide various services to the end consumer. Their aim is to provide various services to the end consumers. Here, the retail formats do not provide any product, but a service is being provided. The success of the service-based retailing lies in service quality, customization, differentiation, and timeliness of service, technology upgradation, and customer-oriented pricing. So these are the main things on which, main factors or the reasons on which the success of service-based retailing depends or lies. If we understand one by one, first is the service quality. Obviously, if the service quality is good, the service that is given by the retail format is of utmost quality, that the customer is happy with the service quality, obviously then the customers will return for a repeat purchase, and also there will be positive word of mouth about the retail format. Now coming to customization. Customization means tailor-made solutions. If services are provided in these retail formats, which is customized, which is tailor-made according to the needs and wants of the customers, then the customers will prefer this service retail format, the service retail organization over other service retail organizations. So customization is very important because the customer are assured that their various needs and wants will be satisfied by the retail format that is giving the services. Then comes differentiation and timeliness of service. When we say differentiation, there must be something extra, something extra that should be given to the customers who has to differentiate your retail format or a retail service retail organization from other service retail organizations. Suppose we say laundry services has been given by two retail organizations. Then the differentiation will be in the timeliness of service, the way in which the order for the laundry service is taken. So all these things will be differentiate your retail service brand from other retail service organization. Then comes technological upgradation. What we mean by technological upgradation? In the same, if we take the example of the laundry services, we can also provide a certain app or through website where we can take the requisition from the customers. So the customers, if they want, they can raise a requisition or request for pickup of the clothes for these laundry services, and also they can schedule a particular time on which these clothes will be returned back to the customers. So using of this new technology or integrating the technology with the service that is being provided by the retail organization, the quality of the service can be increased, and technology will help in order to capture a larger market share. Similarly, customer oriented pricing is very important for service based retail formats, because here Depending upon the customer's need, wants, the pricing can be different. If the same laundry, take the example of a laundry service that has been given, we can say that if you want the laundry services to be initially very fast, within few lesser time you want the services to be given, you may charge a premium price. If more time is taken, you may charge a nominal price. So the customer oriented pricing should be done depending upon the customer's needs, wants, the way they want the service. The retail organization can differentiate the pricing. So this will help the customers to be interested to buy from the service retail organization, and also be remain loyal to them or retain with the service retail organization, particular service retail organization. So the success of the service-based retailing lies on these factors, that is service quality, customization, differentiation, timeliness of service, technological upgradation, and customer-oriented pricing. Now, the customers can become brand advocates if the service retailing meets their needs and requirements. As I've said in the previous point only, that the customer will become brand advocates. They will be sending positive word of mouth to the people, because when it comes to a service, it is intangible and people cannot know because they don't have any physical evidence. So in order to give physical evidence, this positive word of mouth will go a lot of a long way, and this the customers will themselves become the brand advocates, and they will advocate about the service retail organization to other customers, other potential customers, which will increase the customer traffic flow into the service retail organization. Now, in order for service retailing to be profitable, the several services must be balanced against the willingness of customers to pay for such services. Obviously, the profitability of the service retail organization or this retail format that is based on service, the profitability will be dependent against the type of services given and the willingness of customers to pay for such service. If the customers are not willing to pay, then the services cannot be given. So this must be balanced with the willingness of customers to pay for the service. And finally, service retailing strategies for business success revolve around focuses on customers, personalizing offers, and building relationships. So the service retailing strategies, or the service retail organization, the strategies that should follow, they should follow for the success. For the success to see, they have to focus on 3 points. First is customers. They have to focus on the needs and wants of the customers. Second, they have to focus on the personalizing of offers, giving customized offers, customer pricing that should be given, and also building relationship to provide them the best service quality, so that the customers will become the brand advocates, and they will explain this, they bring in more potential customers into the business, and also they will return back for repeat purchases. So in this way, the service based retail formats can make more profit and remain sustainable in the market. Now we'll understand what are the major types of service based retail formats. The first is the car rentals. A car rental or a car hire agency is a company that rents automobiles for short periods of time, generally ranging from a few weeks to a few hours to few weeks. So this car rental services is a kind of a service-based retail format where the customer hires the car from the car agency, and this may be for a few hours, or it may range to a few weeks, depending upon the needs of the customer and also the um, plans and offers of the car rental company. So accordingly, when we say that it should be customer oriented pricing, so for few hours it will be, the rate will be different, for few weeks the rate will be different. Then comes to retail banking. This is also another format of retail based format, that is retail banking. Retail banking is very much famous, and a retail bank is a bank which works with customers offering basic banking services like checking accounts, saving accounts, loans, ancillary products like credit and debit cards, mortgages. All these things are being looked after by the retail banking. Here, the aim is to directly provide these services, these banking services to the customers, and these services range from a various, like from checking accounts to giving loans to ancillary product like credit cards, debit card, mortgages. All these things are undertaken by the retail banking. So this is one of the sectors that is developing, and this retail banking as a service-based retail format is also developing in India. These services make it easier for individuals to handle their prices, to handle their finances. So why this is retail banking is increasing, this eminence or importance of this retail banking is increasing day by day, because this retail banking provides the individuals to handle their finances in a much more better way. So the retail banking importance is increasing day by day. Another kind of service retail format is the service contracts. When we say service contracts, a service contract is an agreement, is a legal document that outlines the agreed terms and which is entered into for servicing of custom or consumer durables like water purifier, computers, etc. So it is nothing but an agreement between the customer and the service providing retail organization, where this is generally done for consumer durables like water purifiers, computers, where air conditioners. So what happens in these consumer durables? These consumer durables require this maintenance, and they may some problem may occur frequently. So in order to handle those maintenance and problem related uh, areas, certain qualified assistance is required, and this qualified assistance is provided under this service contracts, whereby if a customer enters into an agreement with a company that is giving this kind of services, the service retail organization, then whenever there is a requirement for maintenance of these consumer durables, or whenever a problem arises and a defect or a repair is required, a defect arises or any repair is required, then the a service retail organization with whom we are having the service contract agreement, they will send qualified, skilled people who will come to our doorstep, look into our consumer durables, will give us the maintenance, and also see whatever repair is needed, it will be done. Apart from that, there are also various other services which can be included in the service retail format. These are like electricity, cooking gas, and this delivery of this cooking gas to your household at your doorstep. So these are the various kinds of service-based retail format that are in prominence, which are generally available in India. Apart from the service-based retailing, there is also certain emerging retail formats. Now we will understand what are the various emerging retail formats. So you can see these are the various emerging retail formats. This what emerging retail formats means, these are already present and these are growing day by day, and in near future this will be having much more share in the retail formats. So what are these? Mobile van retailing, conference, party or event retailing, distant retailing, forecourt retailing, trade parks, airport retailing, and cash and carry outlets. So these are the way in which the retail formats are emerging. These are the various emerging retail formats. We'll understand each and every format one by one. So we'll start with the first format, emerging retail format. The first emerging retail format is the mobile van or mobile van retailing. What happens in mobile van retailing is in this type of retail business, the retailer keeps one day stock of his merchandise and goes to an area to serve its permanent customers. So what happens in this fair? The retailer who wants to give this opens does not open a shop. He continues the retail activities in a mobile van. What happens? The retailer keeps one day stock of merchandise in the van and goes to the area to service permanent customers. So this is a compromise between door-to-door selling and store selling. What happens in door-to-store selling? That is direct selling or personal selling. What happens? You go from personal selling, you go from door to door. And what happens in store selling? You do not go to the people directly, and the people come to you for purchasing of the product. But this is a compromise between the two, whereby the retail business goes to the customer's doorstep, permanent customer's doorstep, and carries this one day stock of merchandise so as to satisfy the needs and wants of the customers. And another thing you have to remember, that this kind of What kind of products that are being sold by mobile van retailing? They can range from everyday household products to different kind of eatables. A lot of household products are also sold. Apart from that, a lot of eatables are being sold by using this mobile van retailing. These There are some vans which are designed to operate at extremely low temperatures. So these vans can also operate at extremely low temperatures. So whereby a lot of products that require extreme low temperatures or storage of refrigeration is generally sold, like meat, vegetables, frozen foods are also brought to the doorstep of the permanent customers by using this mobile van retailing. In some states, this van retailing may be subject to regulations and entail licensing. So this mobile van, sometimes when it enters to various states, they may have different laws, and accordingly, it may be subject to regulations or certain kind of licensing that is involved in it. Van retailing is usually found in remote or rural areas and is of two types, static and raving. So what happens, this van retailing, when we say, these are of two types, generally static and raving, and then generally it is found in remote or rural areas where the retail operations do not reach, or they do not have an established formats of retail formats in the rural areas. In those areas, in order to reach those areas, people use mobile van retailing. Sometimes retailers visit some areas which are totally new in order to attract new customers. And you have to remember that these are generally found in rural or remote areas where the established retail formats are not available. And this kind of, what are the products kind of sold, we have already discussed, is that generally household products will be sold, or different kind of eatables or soaps, detergent. When we say everyday household, like soaps, detergents, kitchen appliances, scrubbers are also sold. Some cleaning products are also sold. Apart from that, eatables are also sold, like vegetables, frozen foods, dairy products, meat, ice cream. These are also sold. So these are mostly found in rural areas. So in this way, this type of mobile van retailing is gaining prominence in India. So it is one of the emerging retail formats. Now coming to the second emerging retail format is the conference, party or event. Sorry, one thing we have to remember, I have missed out, is that the retail van retailing is of two types, that is static or raving. When we say static retailing, under this sort of retailing, the vans are parked in public areas where customer traffic is usually high. So the van is static, so they don't move around. It is static in one place and mostly high traffic areas, and these items are sold in the static retail outlets. And there are generally snacks or junk food kind of items that are generally sold in this static retailing. What happens in raving retailing? In this, it is where the retailer takes the vans from one outlet, from one house to another house, and selling merchandise to customers at their doorstep. So in raving, the mobile van reaches the customers door to door, and in the static, the mobile van is placed in a very high commercial area or high customer traffic area usually, and then customer visit that area in order to get the products from the mobile van retailing. Now coming to the second kind of retailing, that is conference or party or event retailing. What happens in this? In this type, these get-togethers are being organized by these franchisor or retailers belonging to big organizations, where the people are being called for a conference or a party or a event, and then the products are being sold in this conference, party or event. The products sold under such form of retailing vary from cosmetics to small household items. So this is the way in which the variety of products are being sold in the conference or party event retailing. What happens, another thing is that in order to attract customers, retailers usually distribute sample merchandise or give some demonstration regarding effective use of the items offered on sale. So why this conference or party event retailing is done? This is done generally to give some sample merchandise to the customers, or sometimes to give a certain demonstration. Sometimes the product is a little bit complex and it requires demonstration. So when the franchisor or the retailer calls these people to the event or a conference or a party, there he gets a captive audience to which he can demonstrate the effective use of the items which are offered on sale. So this is one of the ways in which we can demonstrate the item to the captive audience. So this is generally used for selling these kind of products. Every event retailing is usually also takes place in national or regional level events like Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Diwali, or Akshaya Tritiya. What happens? This event or a particular, it may be a particular national or regional holiday that is being followed. For Valentine's Day, we may having a certain kind of products being sold. For Mother's Day, certain kind of products. For Father's Day, and for Akshaya Tritiya, where it is considered uh, auspicious to buy gold. So generally gold ornaments are also being sold in Akshaya Tritiya. So this is nothing but an example of this event retailing or a particular retailing in which depending upon the event, the products are being sold. This is also an emerging retail format in India. The third kind of emerging retail formats is the distance retailing. Distance retailing means, as the name suggests, under distance retailing, a customer places the order from a remote location. The customer places the order from a remote location by telephone, SMS, internet, pager, etc. instead of visiting the store. This is a mix between this e-retailing and this direct marketing, where the retailing is done from a distance and the customer need not visit the store. What happens? Retailers who provide such home delivery facility may or may not have physical stores. So it also refers to catalog marketing, which I have already catalog outlets, which I've already discussed initially. That this may provide this home delivery facility, but they may or may not have the physical stores. The range of items offered are depend on consumers' demand and retailers' resources and the infrastructure of the concerned region. So what the range of items that are being delivered by this distance retailing is generally depend upon the customer's demand and the retailer's resources, how much the retailer has resources and how far he can satisfy the needs and wants of the consumers and the infrastructure available in the concerned region so that the products can be home delivered. The leading global retailers who follow such type of practices are Amazon, Walmart, etc. So this is also distance retailing is also used by a lot of organization where retailers provide home delivery facility to the people, and the main advantages of such kind of retailing is that the customer need not visit the item, and the item that can be supplied to a retailer as per the demand of the customer. These items are supplied. The range of items offered generally depends on the customer's demand and the retailer's resources, and also upon the infrastructure upon the of the region. So this is also one of the emerging retail formats in India. Apart from distance retailing is a mix of this direct marketing, personal selling, and this e-retailing, catalog marketing, or catalog outlook. These are a mix of all where the retailing takes place from distance and the customer need not visit the outlet or the store. The fourth kind of emerging retail format is the forecourt retailing. What is a forecourt retailing? It's a new emerging concept of retailing. Is the establishment of stores in front of large buildings of high traffic areas. Here, the stores are opened in large buildings in front of the large buildings of high traffic areas in order to get the attention of these high traffic areas. This concept caught public attention with oil companies trying to allow private companies to set up convenience stores at their fuel station outlets. So how this concept started? This concept started with these big oil corporations, oil companies, allowing these private companies to open or set up this convenience store at their fuel stations. So what happens when you come to the fuel station to get the fuel? While you get the fuel, you may also be interested to buy any type of convenience product, merchandise. So convenience outlets are the stores are set up in these uh, fuel stations by allowing these private companies to set up these kind of stores at the fuel stations. The aggressive players in these areas are in India are HPCL, IOC, and PPCL, and also Reliance. So what happens here? If you give an example, Vishal Mega Mart has tied up with Hindustan Petrol HPCL, Hindustan Petroleum Corporation Limited, for opening these 4 crore retail store chains. So this Vishal Mega Mart is opening their retail chains in this HPCL filling outlets, which has been branded as the Vishal Corner Mart. So at the HPCL outlet, we can find Vishal Corner Mart, where you can, it's a kind of convenience store where you can also purchase a lot of merchandise. These are set up by the Vishal Mega Mart, is known as the Vishal Corner Mart, and set up in HPCL. Apart from this, Apollo Pharmacy has also tied up with to set up convenience store with IOC, that is Indian Oil Corporations. So this, you can also get pharmacy products from Apollo at IOC outlets or petrol outlets. Certain groceries and also medicines are available in the Apollo Pharmacy. These marts, besides from offering the convenience goods and services, would also provide travel solutions and other facilities at the as a type of one-type solution, one-stop solution. So this forecourt retailing is generally opened in places like in large buildings, in front of large buildings of high traffic areas, or in fuel stations where a lot of people come to purchase the product. And what happens, the various examples of these are Vishal Corner Mart, which is opened in HPCL outlets, and this Apollo Pharmacy has opened up convenience stores providing groceries and medicines in IOC, that is Indian Oil Corporation. So this is also, forecourt retailing is one of the major emerging retail formats in India. Apart from this, another little format that is emerging in India is trade parks. What happens in trade parks? Retailing through trade parks is a recent retail practice and is practiced only in metros and big cities. So this is started only in metros and big cities. What happens in this? Under this concept, business complexes are being set up for promotion of retail trade, especially the international trade. Under this, retail complexes are being set up for this retail trade, and especially for international trade. So here, anybody who is interested for international trade, they come to these trade parks. They can display their merchandise and for export. And the people who are interested to buy the product, they need not go to the rural areas or the remote areas in order to buy those products. They can directly buy these products from these trade parks. Exporters, apart from getting, what happens, the persons who are interested for this these exporters, apart from getting increased visibility, will also get other facilities such as design library, design studio, then forwarding services, and so on. So these kind of facilities are available at these trade parks. So the exporters who are interested for international trade, they need not worry. They have various design studio, design library, and forwarding services are also given, so that the exporters can properly display the product to the foreigners, for the people who are interested to buy the products. And generally these are set up for, especially for international trade. And what happens in this example, if we give an example will be International Home Deco Park, IHDP, that is set up by a group of investors in Noida. Similarly, India Exposition Mart is set up by the Handicraft Export Promotion Council in Greater Noida. So what happens in India Exposition Mart? People who are interested for handicrafts, they want their handicrafts to be sold in the foreign or exported or sold in the foreign market. They display those products, that reps at the trade parks, and those people are interested to buy these handicraft products from these small manufacturers. They come to these trade parks and get an easy visibility, and they buy these products from these small exporters. So this is helpful both for the exporters and also for the people who need not go to these remote areas, but they go to this park in order to buy the products. These parks are built to promote trade and are open to international buyers and buying houses only. So these are generally open for these international buyers and buying houses only. and the main aim is to see that the international trade is increased by the trade parks. So this is one of the emerging retail formats in India. Another emerging retail formats in India is airport retailing. When we say airport retailing offers one of the most promising sectors for retail development. Airports are turning into transportation hubs as well as retail hubs. Since when we go to an airport, it takes time while we check in the till the point we board the aeroplane. There is certain time we are in the remaining in the airport. So retail hubs are opened, or retail outlets are opened in airport that provides both the products and services to the consumers or the people who are inside the airport. This type of airport retailing has developed in the recent past, and these airports are now becoming not only these transportation hubs but also these retail hubs. Airport now offers attractive retail areas, unique food and beverage outlets. So at this airport retailing, we find a lot of retail outlets. These unique and food beverage outlets are also available. Airport retailing environment offers various brands of luggage, clothing, and accessories, perfume, cosmetics, and destination merchandise. So these kind of products are generally dealt with in airport retailing, where various brands of luggage, clothing, accessories, perfume, cosmetic, and destination merchandise is generally sold. It is also found that this non-aeronautical revenue, predominantly from the retail that is being we get, is more than the aeronautical revenue of most airports. This is generally seen. So the revenue that they get from this retail airport retailing in the airports is more than the aeronautical revenue they actually get. This airport retailing has increased. The factors why this airport retailing has increased is because there is a expected to drive growth of the airport retailing, because the rising retail promotion in airports. Now the airports are becoming the retail hubs. There is a availability of a lot of products at low prices. Duty free products are available, and there is a lot of tourism that is gaining. So people are more interested to buy these products because a lot of tourism is increasing and people go from one country to another country. So at the airport they can buy a lot of products as a souvenirs. In fact, the passenger traffic has gone up exponentially and is increasing day by day, because the cost of low cost of airlines and the air tickets are getting cheaper day by day. A lot of offers are being given by these airline companies, so which makes the airline tickets cheaper by day. And also this airport retailing is developing because a captive audience is already present, or a captive consumer base is present, who are there in the airport 7 days a week. So no need to worry if you have these retail hubs or retail stores in these airports. Then obviously those people who are there remaining in the airport, who have just checked in but they are not yet boarded the aeroplane, will have enough time to buy retail products from the airport. So this is the various reasons why which this airport retailing is increasing day by day, and so much that the revenue that the airports are generating from this non-aeronautical revenue is more than the aeronautical revenue they generate in most airports. Now, the last kind of emerging retail formats is the cash and carry outlet. What happens in cash and carry outlet and why it is called as cash and carry outlet? A cash and carry outlet is a form of wholesale warehouse or distributor which operates on a self-service basis and bulk buying of registered customers. Bulk buying to registered customers. So what happens? So cash and carry is generally done as a form of wholesale distributor, wholesale warehouse or distributor who operates on a self-service basis. No service is provided. The customers who wants to buy the product has to be interested for the self-service. Okay, and there will be bulk buying, and this service is generally given, and bulk buying is already given to registered customers. Only those who are registered, they only buy from this cash and carry outlets. Cash and carries are mainly used by people in business to buy goods for their shops or companies. So these are generally used by people who are in business and who have shops or companies and who buy to the end consumers. So here the customers for the cash and carries are generally small shops or companies. They are not the end consumers. Once they buy, they again send it to their end consumers. In cash and carry format, the customer has to pay upfront and also carry the products bought. So why it is known as cash and carry? All the product that is available in this outlet is based on cash. You have to pay upfront. There is no credit. And also the retail outlet, cash and carry out retail outlet will not provide any kind of transportation facility, and the persons who are buying the product from this cash and carry outlet are themselves have to carry the products they have bought. So this is therefore known as cash and carry outlets. Under this format, customers have to buy a minimum volume of products or value specified by the cash and carry retailer. So what happens? Not only these are sold, these are self-service, only um, result in bulk buying and only to the registered customers. Also, a minimum volume of products is has to be bought in order to shop in this cash and carry outlets. This minimum volume of product that has to be brought or the minimum value is specified by the cash and carry retailer. Metro is a major player that falls under this format. Apart from this, Walmart and Bharti have also made an alliance that they have formed a cash and carry outlet. So what happens in cash and carry outlets? Who are the main customers of these professional users, caterers, institutional buyers are generally the customers. So wholesalers buy from manufacturers and sell it to the retailers. And from these retailers or companies or shops, these owners, once they buy from the cash and carry outlets, they again sell it to the final end consumers. Okay, at present, Metro is one of the major brands operating in cash and carry outlet. Apart from that, Walmart and Bharti have also formed a alliance. Apart from that, Tesco and Trent has also formed alliances to open a cash and carry outlet. 100% FDI is allowed in this kind of format in India. So these are the various emerging retail formats in India. Okay. We have so in the present class we have discussed what are the various service-based retail outlets and what are the various uh, emerging retail outlets or formats in India. I will be sending you the notes digitally. Please go through the note. If you have any doubt, please come back to me, contact me. No need to panic. Stay at home, be prepared. And finally, thank you for your attention.